Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Nic Ouellet, who will be fighting against David Moon on BFL 79. Hello, Nick. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, man? Thanks for having me.
I'm good. Thank you for the time. And in your next fight, you will be fighting against quite like experienced opponent. He's a 17 fight veteran of in MMA. So if you can tell me, how do you think the fight gonna play out against this opponent?
I think it's a great test for me. Obviously, he's the most experienced fighter that I'm gonna be fighting so far. So I'm excited for the test, but I think I'm gonna walk all over him. I think I dominate. Whether I finish him or not, I do not care. I'm gonna dominate. So that's my plan in this fight. I'm gonna show that I'm at that level, but I do respect his skills nonetheless. Like I've checked him out, and he's very good. He's one of the top guys in Canada, and that's what gets me excited. So let's fucking go.
And do you think that in like any area he can create some more dangerous situations for you?
For sure, it's a fight. Man, everyone's dangerous. He's good. He's an experienced fighter everywhere. Obviously, he's going to try and keep it standing. We all know I have an advantage on the ground. I assume he has a healthy respect for my ground. If he doesn't, it won't end well. We'll end it quickly. But if he respects my ground, then it'll be a very interesting fight. And we're going to see a nice, well-rounded MMA fight. You know what I mean? So I'm excited.
Probably for most of your opponents, the plan is just not go to the ground.
Exactly. Their plan usually stays the same, and my plan stays the same. I just want to fight and get to my wheelhouse. If I can, I will. I'll finish it quickly. But I'm also excited to let a fight play out, right? I've had 5 rounds in me before, and it was honestly the funnest fight of my career. So I'm excited to just fight, like I want to test myself against one of the top guys, and here he goes. As long as he shows up, I'm happy. Let's go.
And after this fight, do you want another BFL title shot in a featherweight division?
Of course, yeah. Obviously they didn't go my way last time, so I want that back, right? I think I just need to play my cards right, get this, one fight at a time, get this win, and then see where the road takes us. But I want to take Radley De Silva out. I want to take Jamie Siraj out if he's not at the next level. Like whoever's on top of me or whoever they're willing to give me that's like a really highly touted prospect. I want like a big fight. I'm not looking to get easy wins. I don't want to pad my record. I don't care about any of that shit. I just want to fight the best guys and see where I end up. I want to test myself that way.
And actually, the featherweight title fight also will be on the card. So I think that it would be great that after this, on the one of the next show, you will be you should fight with this win with the winner of Da Silva against Randall, I believe.
I would love that. Yes. So I will be pushing for that, of course. And if there, for some reason, if Radley ends up moving to the next level or the winner moves to the next level, I'll just fight for the title against the next best guy. You know what I mean? I'm just ready for the best guys. I don't want some guy that I'm supposed to win. I want people to think, oh man, this is a good matchup, and then surprise them and surprise myself and just get better that way.
And of course, you are like great grappler, but also you are super dangerous in the first round because you defeated all of your opponents. All of your wins are in the first round. So in this fight, do you also plan to finish the fight quickly?
Always. I want to finish it as quickly as possible. You're not paid by the hour, right? This whatever stupid saying, but it's true. I want to get it as quickly over with as possible because a fight's a fight. So if he makes a mistake, I'll gladly take it, right? And just I'm sure he'll do the same if I make a mistake, right? Like who wouldn't want to get a quick finish? So yeah, but like I said, I also am okay with just testing myself overall and pushing and having like a war if we have to. So let's fucking go.
And overall, you have 5 professional fights, but you are overall more experienced than just 5 fights, because in your third bout you fought against Mateo Vogel, who is like one of the better prospects in Canada. It was a 5 rounder, and to be honest, it was super close fight. So actually, you there was like big chance that you will be a champion in big promotion in just a third fight. And also your next fight against like Maxim Souzi. So it looked great for like 1.5 round for you. So of course, like kudos for him because he finished you. But it was also like close for you to win this fight.
Well, I keep saying it. I beat myself in that fight. I don't want to make excuses. Like you said, kudos to him. He found the shot once I was tired. Like, but I fought 5 rounds and didn't look that. You know what I mean? Like, so clearly, you guys can see that something was up. I saw that something was up in the fight. I was surprised myself. I was like, why the hell am I tired? It's because there's a lot of things that led to that. You know what I mean? And I've made those adjustments, and I needed that to learn. Right. So that's part of it. You know, early in the career, you got to experience those things, and I'd rather experience them now than on the big leagues. You know, so let's go. Let's keep the ball rolling. Right. I got a win back, and now I'm fighting one of the top guys in Canada, and I'm right. You know, after that, I'm right where I need to be.
But in your like first 5 rounder against Vogel, you looked good overall, like in the like first and the fifth round. So overall, I don't think that like fans should judge you because of the second fight that you've got. Because in the fight probably against better fighter Mateo Vogel, it was a very close fight, and the cardio like holds up, I believe.
I have great cardio. Here's the thing, man. Like I said, I'm not going to mention anything, but I did huge mistakes in the weight cut. Okay, I was on weight for 3 hours. That's just one thing I'm going to throw out there. Okay, usually you're on weight maybe 20 minutes. Okay, that's my bad. But also, you know, all the like fighting is like little things, little wins, and a bunch of things were not the where they should be. So I learned, you know what I mean? So just don't I hope he underestimates me and thinks that it's going to be the same guy, and then he'll be surprised, right? So you better not underestimate me, motherfucker, because that's not how it goes with me. I got good cardio, so if you need to have a war, I'm ready.
And of course, you got this kind of super exciting, opportunistic style on the ground. You are always looking for submission, and I think that fans like really respect this style because it's like in the stand-up. You are like stand-up fighter is looking for the knockout. You are this guy on the ground. You are always looking for submission. And if you can tell me how your journey with BJJ started.
My journey started when I was 13. My dad took me and my brother to a Caleb Starnes seminar here in Powell River with my coach, Andrew Thistle. He was running it. And that was my first introduction to jiu-jitsu. And we did triangles. It was like kind of MMA jiu-jitsu style because Caleb Starnes was in the UFC or was just out of the UFC at the time. So that was really cool. And then I joined right away after that and never looked back. There was judo and jiu-jitsu merged together. So I started judo at the same time. Got to my blue belt with that, and then just kept, jiu-jitsu. I knew right away that that's what I wanted to do. And at the same time, the UFC, I was getting into the UFC. So watching that, I was like, man, me and my brother just wanted to do that for a living, like from an early age. So jiu-jitsu, it started pretty early, 13. That's the age that I got my first class in.
And your brother is also a fighter, right? Also another prospect from BFL.
Yeah, Rafael Ouellet. He just fought last card and put on a banging performance.
So how great is to have a brother that both of you are doing the same thing, and you can like learn at the same moment when especially when you have like fights close to each other. How great is to have this kind of like help.
Oh, it's amazing because he knows what it's like and I know what it's like. So we push each other in the gym and we fucking, yeah, we just keep it going, right? It's just we push each other, I think, is the biggest thing, right? Like when you have a brother there, you can't go easy on the brother. You can't go easy on me. We go hard, So we help each other get better, and we push each other into fighting. Like seeing him fight that last card, it just gets me so excited. You know what I mean? It was such a war and such a good fight, and then we kind of inspire each other that way, So after each fight, every time I see him fight, I get excited to fight, and every time he watches me fight, he gets excited. So it's awesome.
And probably when you are training with each other, your like sparrings are really intense, probably.
Yeah, you guessed it. We definitely go hard, man. That's what a brother's for.
Yes, yes, definitely. And except your brother, do you have any like other good prospects that can be big names in Canadian MMA in a few years?
Oh yes, Nelson Sprue. Nelson Sprue, former amateur lightweight champion in BFL, and he's gonna make his pro debut here pretty soon. Hopefully by the end of the year. Keep a lookout for that guy. He's a dog. He's super entertaining. He's one of my favorite fighters ever. So keep an eye out for him, Nelson Sprue.
And you are owner of BJJ school, correct?
Yes, Powder River BJJ.
Do you think that coaching a fighter also help you as the coaching a BJJ fighters, let's say? Do you think that it helps you as the fighter, that you coaching people also can take something from this situation, like to your experience?
Yeah, 100%. Because coaching, you have to break things down, right? So if someone's brand new, I can't take anything for granted. Like I have to explain from the ground up. And that just helps me have my fundamentals sharp always. I just have to always keep explaining the fundamentals over and over again from a kids to an adult level. So from kids, you have to explain it in a very simplistic, entertaining way. And with the adults, you have to make it also kind of simplistic, but get to the point, right? Um, yeah, it just helps me break down my game as well. But another aspect of coaching that people don't seem to think about is that I have to be there. Who's gonna run class? I have to run class. So if I'm tired, I want a day off. It's training camp. I got to be there. I'm there. You know what I mean? I have to run class regardless. And then next thing you know, I'm rolling. Next thing you know, I'm training hard. I got a good sweat. So it just helps me get in the gym as well, right?
Yes, and like you said, it's like big responsibility to be a
Yeah.
coach, to be a main guy.
Yeah, and also the men like in fighting, sometimes you're waiting a lot on fight day. You're waiting for fight. You know what time you're gonna fight, and you're counting down the minutes, right? So, um, when you're coaching, sometimes you get like mentally exhausted a little bit, especially if you have like 4 or 5 classes in the day and you have kids and everything. By the time it's adult class and it's your time to spar and do all that stuff, your brain is like really really tired, and it's nice to train that way sometimes too, because you might end up feeling like that in the back, right, before going out. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things that coaching gives you, and that's some of them.
In your first pro bout, you won by also, of course, by first round submission. It was a Kimura triangle against actually a very good fighter who won out of his 7 next bouts. So it was a very good win for you. But do you have a list of submissions that you would like to use and win by in MMA fight?
Of course, I have so many things I can't wait to hit. Of course, man. But in the striking too, like I got underrated striking. I'm excited to be able to show that shit. So just I'm excited to just keep showing what I can do, right? I'm not gonna name it. I'll just let it surprise you guys. I almost I got to a twister position on Mateo Vogel. That's all I'm gonna say. I just for some reason chose to keep position, and then the sub didn't present itself. But I'm just saying I can twister motherfuckers if I'm gonna name one.
But actually, about your striking, it can be true that people are so afraid of your ground game that you can in like one or next 2 fights knock your opponent out, because he will be so focused not to being taken down.
Yeah, I'm ready to throw down if I need to, right? And like my fights end up grappling a lot of the time, just because if you let me grab you, I'm gonna grab you. Why wouldn't I? And then if you grab me, I'm happy too. We're gonna keep grappling. So um it's like, yeah, grappling is just part of fighting, and it's just organically happens. I just end up grappling with guys, and we tangle that way. But like if a guy ends up being real skilled, like David Moon's a skilled fighter, if he's able to move around, I'm gonna have to show my striking, and I'm actually excited for that. I'm gonna show that I'm no slouch there either, and then everyone will know. I'll be put on notice.
And when you are thinking about your career in the near future, do you consider a UFC like the main option, the main goal that you would like to reach, or you also would be considering option from other promotions like PFL one?
Of course, UFC is number one, dude. Right? So I'm gonna see if I can get to the UFC, but that's not like some people make that like the top of the mountain. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to just like get to the UFC. Like if I get there, I want to stay there, you know? So I want to get the fights going. I want to get experience as a pro. And I once I'm there, I'm going to stay there, you know? But
And
yeah, of course, other promotions too. Like why not? But always UFC number one.
and do you have a like name in mind probably from the UFC that you would like to face, even as the like dream fight scenario fight?
A dream fight for me, Chase
Yes.
Hooper.
Oh, it
I'll stick.
actually would be a very good one.
Let's fucking go. I would love that. Anytime I watch him fight, I'm like, I could fight this guy and it would be fun.
Yes, and then when he came to the UFC, I don't think that many people like think about him that he can be like a big prospect because he was like super young actually, and he looked like a little bit like Ben Askren. But overall,
Yeah.
he right now he's a very good prospect, and I think that his ceiling is high, and the fight it actually would be like super good to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always one. Like honestly, that's the first that came to mind. But there's a lot, of course. But that's one that I'm always like, man, that's a cool matchup because his jiu-jitsu is awesome, and he's finishing guys, and he's just fun to watch. So
And also, when do you think that it would be possible for you to go to the UFC? Do you think that maybe next year, maybe 2026?
yeah, possibly. It depends. As long as my opponents show up, you know, as long as my fights keep happening. Like I had a lot of pullouts in the last 2 years. Like I was only able to get in the cage once in 2022 and once in 2023. That sucks, you know. Like I want to have at least 2 to 3 fights a year. Um, so as long as I'm able to do that, I think it's possible 2026. I just need to get a couple good wins together, you know, like show that I'm a top guy and then get the title. I want to get the title, of course. But one fight at a time, man. Like it's obviously in the horizon. I know I have a lot of work to do to get there, but I know it's possible. So I just have to put the work in, believe in myself. I know I can do it. So take care of David Moon and then on to the next.
Yes, and I think that two things are really helping you: your style, the finishing style, and also fighting against really tough competition. Because even like when you win 2 fights or 3 fights, you will be like 6-2. You will be more than 6-2 guy.
Yeah, that's what I want before I get to the big show, right? Because sometimes you see like 10-0 guys, and then they go to the UFC, and then they look like they haven't been the nail. You know what I mean? I feel like you need to experience all the goods and the bads. Excuse me, and then you go to the big show and you stay there. You've experienced the storm, right? So that's kind of that's good. I want to have more experience than it looks on record. You know?
And in your opinion, because the when there is a question that who is the best Canadian fighter, it's like in the history it's obvious. The answer is quite obvious because it's GSP. But
Yeah.
if it's not including GSP, who in your opinion is best Canadian fighter in the history of the sport?
Me, no. Roy McDonald, probably. He was unreal, dude. He's so good.
Yes, and when he came to the UFC, he was a like super young kid, and he was a like a big prospect at that time.
Yeah.
And I would agree that the things that he did were like the things were unbelievable for him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's so good, so fun to watch, dude.
Yes, and the yes fight against Robbie Lawler is undeniable.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. I don't know if he's done, right? He's stopped fighting.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So legend. Legend.
And overall, are you a fan of the UFC? Like there is a Saturday night, and you watch the UFC?
Yeah, I missed the ones last night, but I'm gonna watch them tonight. But I would catch every card if I can, right? So I'm a huge fan.
So what do you think overall about featherweight division right now? Because there will be a fight, Ilya against Max, of course. But
Yeah.
overall, what do you think about state of 145 division?
It's so fun right now, right? I love it. Um, yeah, there's some fun guys like Brian Ortega's fighting Diego Lopez soon. That's a fun fight. That's a really fun fight. So I love Brian Ortega. Diego Lopez is looking good, so that should be a banger. There's a lot of I feel like who else is there at featherweight? Now I'm starting to realize there's less guys than I'm aware of. There's Max Holloway, Ilya,
Yes, there is like Arnold Allen, the
Arnold
British
Allen.
fighter. Yes, Movsar Evloev. Right now,
Okay.
Aljamain Sterling. He also moved up
Yeah,
the division.
Calvin Cater. Okay, yeah. Now I got the in my head. I got the division kind of in my head. Yeah, it's a crazy division, man. But that Ilya Max fight is insane. Looking
And
forward to that one.
and when you are watching fights, especially from your division, do you watch it as the fan or more of the fighter that you are like looking for some holes in their game and then you try to even finish them in your head?
Always, it's always in my head, especially when I see featherweight or even bantamweight, featherweight. I know they're like my size, so I'm always So I'm always thinking about it. But when I see there's certain guys that I just definitely watch as a fan, like Max Holloway. Like anytime I watch his fight, I'm not thinking how would I beat Max Holloway. Fuck that, dude. I'm just a fan, right? But especially the fights in the undercard or the fights on the main card that are like the Chase Hooper types and all that stuff. I'm like, man, I'm right there. I can beat those guys. And then it gives me confidence.
And do you like also watching the fighters like you, the good grapplers, like with this kind of opportunistic approach, like Charles Oliveira, especially, who like loves to look for submission and he's a danger in any position. Do you also like this type of fighters?
Of course, yeah, man. I think that's why I kind of fight like that. It's just what I want to see, right? When you're on the ground, I don't want to see just a guy holding for points. I don't care about points. Just like in jiu-jitsu matches, I'm always going for the kill. I never cared about the points. So it's the same thing for MMA for me. It's kill or be killed. You got to go and put on a show as well, right? Show business. So yeah, I think that's what I want to see. So that's what I put out.
And when you are a few hours to the fight, whether it was a championship bout or like your other previous bouts, how do you deal with the stress, with the nerves before the fight?
Man, that's just you got to accept them. That's basically how you deal with them. You can't just get rid of them. So you gotta accept them and use them. There's not really much to it. You just gotta learn how. I guess everyone's different, but for me, I just accept it, and I just try to end every scenario that's in my head in a positive way. So if I see myself getting overwhelmed or something like that, if mentally I'm starting to like fear losing, I'm like trying to think of a way out of that position. Like I try to not go too deep. I try to snap myself out of it, but I try to end on a positive note at least in my head. But I just accept the feelings. They're normal.
And do you like also the like listen to music or like zone out in some different way, or you want to like talk to your coaches, to talk to your like corner?
Yeah, some music for sure. Yeah, some music. Stay loose. By then it's just I cannot wait for them to say go, right? So it's just accepting that the nerves are there and just waiting. It's just waiting.
And when you are after the fight and you are maybe not like in the training camp, you have a little bit more of the free time. Do you have any like additional passion or hobby outside of like BJJ and MMA?
Yeah, I play drums. I like to play drums. I love to play chess, you know. Um, yeah, I just like spending time with my family too. Like I don't have a super complicated life. It's just drums and chess though, if you wanted to name a few things that I do other than that.
And the chess can be a little bit like Brazilian jiu-jitsu, like the you have to predict the next move and you have to like find a solution for it.
Yeah, it's the game of war, man, right? You have to predict, and there's a lot of factors in chess. I love it. It's awesome. There's a lot of similarities for sure.
And when you're thinking like about your career in the like longer term, what would you define that your career is successful when you like get to the UFC, get to the rankings, maybe become a champion?
For sure. I mean, obviously that's the top of the mountain. Like if you can be in the UFC and be a champion, there's, so much that comes with that. That's obviously what everyone wants, but that's not what happiness is for me. You know what I mean? Like some people, that's all they want and they're not happy till they get it. It's like, no, I think you need more than just that, because when it's not there, some people feel empty. It looks like, like if you look at the older fighters, if that's all they have, it becomes problematic once they can't do it anymore. So I'm just trying to enjoy life and enjoy the fighting process, and I'm going to take it as far as I possibly can, get better, and enjoy the ride. And wherever I get to, I'm going to embrace it. Right. So that's the top of the mountain. I'm going to aim for it and see how it takes me. Right.
Yes, but probably the whole process is super important, not the goal in the end, but the process, the journey.
Yeah, it's corny, but it's true, right? It's corny, but it's true. Like the journey is what counts, and fuck it, just enjoy the ride, right? Sometimes there's so many parts of training camp or fighting that's not so fun, but you have to embrace it because there are parts that are just the best feeling in the world. So you can't, it's like the yin and the yang, right? Some good, some bad. It comes with everything in life. So yeah, I'm just enjoying the ride, man. And where I'm going to try and get to the UFC, stay to UFC, and become a champion. And if that doesn't happen, it's the way it goes. I'm going to at least I give it my all, right? So I think I can do it, and I'm willing to prove it.
And I have also one last question, and it's outside of the game. If you can learn one skill in the world, the skill that you would like to use after this, what kind of skill would you like to learn and know?
After fighting, you mean?
Like outside of fighting.
Outside of fighting, what kind of skill would I learn if I could learn anything?
Yes.
I guess I don't know, dude. I've never thought of that. It's a good question. I would probably learn how to build things. I suck at building things, so I would probably learn how to build things because people need carpentry. So maybe something like that. But I don't know. That's a good question, dude. That seems useful, right?
Yes, it's definitely, especially in this times, it's super useful.
Or hunting. Hunting would be sick.
Okay, Nick, so many thanks for the conversation. I hope that you will get win in your next bout, and then it will be, of course, another finish. But after this, you will win few more, the BFL title, and then maybe next year we can see you in the UFC.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna get there eventually. Like I said, just keep an eye out. I'm gonna keep doing my thing.